What is going on, Collective, and welcome back to another episode of The Consensus, where me and my guests talk about topics that we are interested in and have fun while doing so. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself for this episode, homie Slice.
Hello everyone, I'm TexasYoshi, and I haven't done a YouTube intro in literal years, it feels like. I've never really spoken to the audience in a long time like this, so it feels sort of refreshing to do this again. But on my channel, I post a lot of wrestling-related content, usually Titantron edits of wrestlers that I see that are sort of underviewed, I'll put it that way, in the United States. So I try to give a bit more representation to an audience that might not have ever seen some of these wrestlers before, a lot of Japanese wrestlers. So that's what I usually do with my content, but I might expand that into other things in the future.
Yeah, I noticed that your Discord profile was like some of the Japanese wrestlers that you were showing me before.
Yeah.
So like I know that you've been going to school and whatnot.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's going well. I think you say you still got some more years you got to do, right?
Yeah, 3 more years.
Yeah.
3 more years, yes sir. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I know. Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I did like 1 year, and that was too much for me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's just not
1
for
year and out of
everybody.
there. No, yeah, it isn't.
Well, what are you going to school for again?
So I'm going to school right now to do education in the future, I think.
Okay.
That's sort of the plan for right now for me.
Okay, yeah, I know we know a couple people that are in that same general field regarding education. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we're both playing Zelda at this current time. So
Yeah.
I just have my feed on, and this is primarily what we're gonna be talking about. Usually we'll have like some multiplayer things going, so we can both have our perspectives, like playing alongside our chats. But since this is the main topic anyway, I figured might as well just have this one going in the background.
Yeah.
So far, let me just start by saying, what point are you at in the story right now, so that way I know what to classify as spoiler related for you.
Okay.
And try to like allude to things but not like give away anything.
So right now for my main quest, I'm at the Crisis at Hyrule Castle. That's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I've tried to focus on a lot more of the side quests.
Yeah, that's honestly what I did in the initial go to. So you haven't done any of the major like temples yet, or?
I've done all 4.
Oh.
Or well, the 4 overworld ones.
Oh, okay. So you're not too far behind. So you can essentially complete it now if you wanted to. Did you get any of the memories at all?
I do. I have. Let's take a look. Adventure log. I have Zelda's Wish, and I have the Master Sword's Power. It's not a car. It's not a Ford F-150.
But you have
and
Zelda's.
I also have
You have Zelda's Wish.
Yeah.
So you have. You have the sword.
I got the sword. Yeah.
You got like Tears of the Dragon and all that.
No, I only have those 3. I don't have Tears of the Dragon. I don't know.
Okay. I see. And so okay. So you have like the main intro one, and so you still got to go around and get some of the hieroglyphs then. But you have but you have Zelda's Wish. Okay. That's gonna be That's gonna be very interesting then.
I'm sure. I'm kind of going out of order.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see your reaction to certain things. That said, yeah, because there's definitely an order, and I had to take pictures in the that little forgotten temple area where you meet Impa.
Okay. So, yeah, I haven't done that because I haven't.
Yeah,
found
honestly, you don't really need to do that, but
right.
Yeah, but anyway, so what are your initial thoughts with the game right now? Like starting it up and going through that, like first island.
So the first like Sky Island, the very first one, the Great Sky Island, I was having a lot of difficulty at first trying to just learn the new mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
Being so accustomed to like having the paraglider accessible to you pretty much from the get-go in Breath of the Wild was like it gives you a lot more freedom and a lot more accessibility to kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And there's so much freedom in this game, but the way that you interact with it is just different. So I think I was still like hardwired to Breath of the Wild's like style. I was like, oh, this is like new stuff I'm not familiar with. I was being very like conservative with my gameplay. Like I'm only familiar with Breath of the Wild, so I'm gonna play this like Breath of the Wild. And I
Yeah.
think that was like the main reason if I was having difficulties.
Yeah, I think it. I can't say it was generally the same for me because I played a lot of Breath of the Wild, and
Hmm.
I did a lot of like side quests and whatnot, and initially like the first thing you notice is like the new abilities obviously, and
Yeah.
I did love because one of my main issues with Breath of the Wild was that you basically started at the end of the story essentially.
True.
And
Yeah.
I do get why they did that, especially for like the first of its kind for Zelda anyway.
Yeah.
To kind of give you the freedom to do whatever you want and even finish the game as soon as you started, basically, or
Hmm.
at least once you're done with the tutorial. So I kind of get why they did that. Um, but that was one of my primary issues. And they didn't really give Link like a real reason to do anything, especially because like he has no memories. So like
Right.
there's no motivation for him to do anything besides a mysterious voice that just tells him that he has to. So
Yeah.
and with the way that the game starts, um it pretty much picks up. I want to say a couple years. Like even now, even though I've beaten the game,
Yeah.
and like even now, I'm still confused on how long
Hmm.
has passed. Like it hasn't been too specific. I don't mind
Yeah.
it, but it's very interesting that I don't have like a concrete time. It's so funny.
I totally agree. Yeah, because I was feeling like some of the like the NPCs that you interact with either at like Lookout Landing or some of the other first areas that you go to in the overworld, it kind of gives you the
Yeah.
impression that it was like it's been 20 years since you've been here or something crazy like that. And I was like, "Oh my god, like what's happened since then?"
Like some people are thinking like about around like roughly 5 years.
Yeah.
Especially because like the time where you meet certain characters. I don't know.
Mhm.
Have you been to Terrytown yet?
I have.
Okay, yeah. So you know how like they Matt I think her name is yeah, Ronson and Hudson, and
Yes.
they both have a kid now.
Mhm.
And like if you've done that series of quests in Breath of the Wild, like we're the ones that basically put them together. So
Right.
like it has to have been at least like 5, maybe 6 or so years, and it's so vague, which I don't
Mhm.
mind, but it would have been nice to have that extra context because like all the towers from Breath of the Wild are gone,
Right.
um, all the shrines, all
There's no
the
guardians that I've
yeah.
seen so far.
I haven't seen the any of the divine beasts. I don't like.
Right.
I think someone I online someone said that Pura mentions them at some point and tells you what happens. But that must have been way early in the game and like one of the first cutscenes or lines of dialogue that she has because I do not remember anything she said about divine beasts. So
Right.
like in a way, it feels kind of disconnected from Breath of the Wild,
Mhm.
which I don't necessarily like mind because like it's obviously the same characters and they're still following their own separate story, and you can't have too much clutter with like the things from the last game and this game. So
Mhm.
I really don't mind like the way that everything turned out. It would have been cool to have like some remnants of those things at least in the depths, since they came from the underground anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with like the ambiguousness of when you start out.
Yeah.
Though I'd say like character age is kind of like a good indicator. Like Riju especially, like she was
Yeah.
like a middle schooler when she became the leader of the Gerudo, and now
Yeah.
she's like a I don't know, like a
Maybe late teens or so.
that's what I was gonna think, yeah. Um so like you have Madison
Yeah.
and you have a couple other things, but besides that, it is like hard to sort of see when this is occurring.
Yeah.
And on the disconnectedness, I do agree. that like you have these. It is a little strange, you know. You have all these giant things that are like core pieces of Breath of the Wild that
And
aren't
they're just
in there.
gone. They're just gone, bro.
Yeah, and I don't think they've explained. At least I haven't seen
It
much.
hasn't been much big of a deal to like
Yeah,
go over at least like a decent amount because it was such a huge part. Yeah, so it's like
right. Like these things were there for 100 years. Well, that's not. The towers weren't there for
well,
100 years. Link had
yeah,
access.
yeah, but at least like the guardians and
Mhm.
the raging, rampaging divine beasts.
Yeah, and like
They were all going crazy for quite some time.
there's one quest that you can do at let me think.
In Breath of the Wild or in this
And
game?
this is Tears of the Kingdom. This is in Hateno Village, and you do this
Oh.
at their school,
Mm-hmm.
and you talk
Oh,
about the
the calamity.
calamity, and and it kind of gives like a time period for when it happened. It's like more than 100 years, which makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
like before, like right before Link goes under. Mm-hmm.
mhm. So it's I don't know. It's like the timeline for this game is very is very much more specific than like the timeline for other Zelda games where it's like we're just gonna put this wherever we kind of want to and we're gonna build the lore in
Yeah.
between. It's like no, this is a direct sequel, but you kind of have to figure it out when exactly this happens.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not like too big of a deal since
Mhm.
it's clearly the same characters and Purah aging does not help at all.
Well, she
Per-
had
Like I know she
I
like experimented on herself again, but like just the fact that like her age changed, um, it just does not help with the ambiguity of the time frame.
I
That's
get that.
because like now I don't know like did you age at first I thought like oh damn this much time passed you age naturally back to this age or did you change yourself and it's like all
Mhm.
right you probably changed yourself based on your little um she has like diaries or something inside of the
Yeah.
her little cabin that she comes out of. Um,
No, yeah. In Breath of the Wild, I think they talked about I'm gonna make like a solution to me being appearing as like a 6-year-old or something.
yeah, because everybody keeps treating me like a kid, and I don't like it. And she said
Mhm.
something along those lines, which, yeah, I can understand that that sentiment for sure. But
Yeah.
when we ran into that cutscene and Lisa saw, she was um, like okay, so they aged her up. There has to be some other kid now that they're gonna introduce, and that was exactly it. Cause she kind of took a look at some of the
Yeah.
characters before I got there.
That was
Um,
Joshua? I don't
yeah,
know.
Josh or something like that, Josha, whatever.
Mhm.
But I don't like her. I don't know
You don't
I
like
don't know
Joshua?
I don't know what it is about Josh I just don't
Oh
like.
man.
Like I don't know
There's
if it's
nothing,
like
man.
her constantly smiling or just calling me swordsman like the entirety of the game when I have a name, you know, like everyone around this
I
place is
mean,
calling me Link and you're the only person here that's calling me
it can be
swordsman.
very annoying. So they maybe hit that to a T, you know? I mean, like
Yeah,
she wants
she's
to do all the grown-up things and Purr's
yeah,
not letting
yeah.
her.
It's definitely a trope. It's definitely a trope,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping they're not. The internet is not clinging to her in the same way that they clung to Purah at that age. So,
I haven't
um,
seen I haven't seen like any fan
anything.
interaction for Joshua or anything.
Yeah, probably 'cause it's that damn something about the smile, man. I don't know. Maybe that's what it
Too
is.
happy.
Now, so oh, you said you did all four. Um,
Yes.
I like this is in regards to like the temples in Breath of the Wild, right? Like they of course didn't have any real reason for Link with no memories to do anything. They saw him carrying a sheep slate,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh wow, you're the guy. Come,
Mhm.
you gotta help us." And it's like,
Yeah.
do I though? I don't know you, you know, like. And of
Mhm.
course, Impa, you eventually run into Impa, who tells you to go to these places. So at the very
Yeah.
least, you're doing it upon her request for the most part.
Mhm.
But like, I don't know. I don't think I was very attached to any of the those regions in Breath of the Wild. Well, I will say like the Zora area was
I love
good,
Zora's Domain. I
and
love
and
the
and
song.
and Gerudo. I didn't really care too much. Like I think I cared about the Rito the least, and then like the Gorons was right behind him. But
Yeah.
like Gerudo and the Zora's Domain, top tier, of course.
Mhm.
Um,
I
and
feel like they had more identifiable like issues there too, maybe to an
yeah,
extent.
yeah.
And also,
Um,
I feel I like the designs of those places a little bit more, and the music and things like that. And
Yeah, and like again, like even those regions, those areas aren't even like bad. Like the Rito village and everything.
oh yeah,
Like even the environment there is like pretty solid. It's
I
just
love
like
Hero.
I did not
Yeah.
care about like any of the actual characters at
Mhm.
all. You know, like I spent a very little time with like Riju in Breath of the Wild, but I freaking
Yeah.
loved her. You know, like she's taking on the mantle when she feels like she's kind of not ready for it.
Yeah.
And then you have Sidon, who's like obviously basically an estranged brother-in-law to Link,
Mhm.
apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's
Like he's
obviously like,
very personable. Yeah.
yeah, and he's I mean he was the first person I ran into. I was just trying to like navigate things, and out of nowhere I was getting called out by Azora randomly.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know that that's where I was supposed to be. I was like, oh, okay, let me follow this guy, and it just so happened to be like Azora's Domain mission. He happened to be like a very important character. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're gonna do this one first. So
Mhm.
like, not but Sidon was a really cool character. I thought he was a little like doing a little too much at first, but like he really
Yeah.
warmed up. He really warmed up. So I was like, all
I
right, you
see
know,
that.
he's
Yeah.
kind of a cool character, and
Yeah.
he's like a huge geek over Link, obviously. So like even in this in this game, like they did a much better job. I think it had to do with the fact that you don't start at the end, and you're
Probably.
really
Yeah.
and you're like now like these are things that are happening now to them, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like it's not something that happened and you're just thrusted into helping them. Like now you've already built kind of a relationship with them in Breath of the Wild,
Mhm.
regardless of your memories returning or whatever. So now you know, you definitely have a reason to help these guys, and then you just get more connected to them anyway. And I still love the I even turned around and ended up liking like the Rito village and all that.
Yeah. I felt like the Rito. I I don't know. I mean, I
they're,
really like their village and how it's set up, and I like
they're still the
the new guy
weakest.
they bring in.
They're still definitely the weakest in terms of like
Mhm.
my connection to them in comparison to everyone else.
Like I
But
like Tulin. I think he's interesting, but
mhm.
I don't know. I
I didn't I didn't recognize him at all.
I didn't either. Yeah.
I did not. I was like, who the hell are you? But he apparently knew me. I was like, who are you?
Like in comparison with the Gerudo or the Zora people, they're definitely the weakest story wise. I also can we talk about Yunobo real quick?
Yeah, we can.
I hate that big-headed doofus. I hate him so much. He's annoying. He's got stubby legs, and he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's an
I,
idiot.
I remember you stopping by the stream saying that, and then we just never heard from you again. Like,
No, I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I don't like that he's a coward. I don't like his little villain arc that you kill him in like 2 seconds and then he becomes a sympathetic douchebag again. I don't like anything about him. I
I
think
thought he
he's
was
a
kind of.
loser.
I thought he was much better. He's definitely much better in this game. I feel like for sure. But like that initial
He's
like
growing sideways to me. Like I don't care about him anymore. He's just changed.
he's definitely like when I initially went to the village, right? I noticed for one like all right, I'm not gonna say I noticed. Initially, I was like, when I went to the store, I was like, wait, it took me to go to the store
Yeah.
to realize that I'm not burning alive right now.
Right. Yeah. Like they don't have the fire or any of the lava outside anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, it's dormant volcano, I guess. No problem. But I think like when he showed up, I was like, who is this clown? Like telling me to like beat it, basically, because like I remembered him vaguely. I remember him being like some cowardly dude, but it's just some random dude with a mask, and like he's not acting the same way that I remembered. So like, okay, this can't be him. But it ended up being him. I was like, what is going on? Like, how did this end up happening here? Like, it's just a very interesting turn for that character. But then it ended up being like some like mind control situation, which is it's like, all right, no problem, that's fine, I guess.
I feel like it would have been more interesting if he was actually like
kind of a jerk,
like a capitalist,
like a drug dealer, borderline drug dealer.
Oh my god, yeah, I didn't think about that. They put the rock, the
he was really like pushing this thing and talking about his boss. Like you just don't understand this new wave, old man. Like get out of here, beat it, broken back. I was like, dang, bro.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like you can't do squat with your back like that. Get out of here. But
embraced the entire time,
Nah, him being like completely oblivious to Zelda was definitely like, come on, man. Like it couldn't be more obvious this is not Zelda. I mean, maybe it was me like advancing with the memories before getting there. That was just like, all right, I'm already ahead of the curve here. And it's like that on purpose, so like anybody can take it in out of any order, right? And then of course Link has to be quiet about it, I guess. But the way that the characters are formed, well, that too. But it's so funny. He can't speak, right?
But he can interact.
But he does these gestures and whatnot. That makes it seem like we are choosing what he says, right? And then, there's so many jokes about him being silent.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you've done any of the Great Fairy side quests yet.
I've just done the main one.
Okay. Well, there's a bunch of, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's some singers.
Yes.
And like when you reach a certain point, right? They're like they like joke like, like we play this, you can just be the vocalist. And I'm like, come on. I'm like, come on, man. Like there's no. He's like you look like you would kill it in this region. Like I'm like, all right, man. Like everybody's in on this joke about him like having like either like a nice voice or something, and I just don't get the pleasure of hearing this.
Right. Yeah. All we get to hear is him like hum during when you're cooking. That's it.
Yeah. That's a very nice touch too, because when I noticed that like he was singing actual like songs from the games, it was just a really nice touch.
Yeah, I've heard Zelda's Lullaby. I've heard like the Wind Waker one. I've heard a couple of them.
Bro, I gotta say, like the champion in the Rito village, right? Not Tulin, his dad. He played such a minimal role in this game.
No,
like, it's so funny. I think literally all 3 replacement champions had a big role in this game too.
Right.
But
like,
in
why
this
is he
one,
here?
like
he's
why?
Off the team.
Yeah, like why did you replace him with his son? It's so funny.
I didn't understand that. Yeah.
It's like now I really won't remember you. Like I didn't realize that was like the previous champion until like I read his profile on the thing, and even now I still don't remember Tulin in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, me too.
I just imagine he was. I imagine he was like one of those little tiny bratty kids like that would like run around the village, and I just did not notice. I didn't know, like, who would have thought that he would have been like a major character in this one.
Not me.
But like now he ended up being cool, a little hot-headed, of course, but
yeah, because he's the ancestor to the one guy that didn't like Link.
Oh no, I don't think the sages was
he's not his grandpa or something? Are they not related?
I don't think so. No,
Damn,
I don't think they're related. No, I don't think he had anybody. That annoying, obnoxious Falco-looking dude. No.
Yeah, you have to get his bow or something.
Yeah,
I thought that was his son. I guess not.
No. It was the village leader's son.
Yeah, his dad. I thought that was the guy that didn't like Link.
Oh no. I guess
Okay.
his name is Taba. Like that's the father, and he was the champion of the divine beast. You help him out. He was the one at the
Yeah.
shooting gallery range.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the easiest one ever too. Like.
Yeah. Speaking of bosses, which
Mhm.
like or like temples in general, what was the order that you did them in?
So I did water, thunder. Wait, water, Goron. So water, fire, thunder, and then wind, which is probably not the best way to go about it, but
Okay,
that's the
okay.
way I did it. So.
I think I started with I ended up starting with the wind temple because you know when you repeatedly talk to Purah about like
Yeah.
the stuff, she tells you about all the places, but she
Yeah.
kind of suggests that you start off with the the Ritos. So I was like, all right,
Yeah. They direct
I'll
you
go.
that way.
I'll go there. Number one because I'd rather get them over with.
Mhm.
You know, like because like to me they were the weakest of the bunch in terms of
Yeah.
memorability for Breath of the Wild. So I didn't have any connection. So I figured let me do that first, and then I'll just go from there. And then when I cleared the boss and realized that you get their like their little essence to follow you around, I was like, oh no, that's so cool. I
No,
gotta go to the Gyarados now,
it's
just to
thick.
like.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to get Riju. Like this has to be the
Mhm.
next one now. So I did the wind, then the thunder, then then water, then the
Okay.
Gorons, then the
Okay.
Gorons. Now, being that I did like the water temple like third,
Mhm.
going from like the wind boss, which it wasn't really that hard, very exciting though.
It was cool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
no,
that. But it was
it was
easy.
such a cool like when you figure out what to do. Like he one shotted me
Mhm.
before. Well, he
Okay.
didn't. I don't think I died during that boss. But when I find them in the depths, I got one shotted a couple times.
Oh yeah, I know
Um,
what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen him before. I haven't fought him yet.
yeah. It's so cool that you can still fight them. I haven't gone back to any of the temples yet. You didn't really get that option in Breath of the Wild. Once you
No,
were
yeah.
done with the divine beast, you were not allowed to even go back into that region. I should probably head back to one of them right
That's a
now,
good way
actually.
of doing it too, rather than like like a lot of the Kirby games, for instance, or Mario games, they have like a boss rush
Oh
option and stuff like that.
yeah.
That's like a good organic way of like keeping the same asset or making it more harder because like you have the starred variations
Mm-hmm.
in like a secret area for you to discover. Like when I saw the wind boss down there, because I was looking for the
The light route.
the light, yeah, the light route. I was like, what the heck is happening here? I was terrified. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Now, question: have you fought the hands yet?
I have
That thing
those
scared
guys.
that thing scared the crap out of me the first time, bro.
Yeah, me too. I was like, holy shit, what is happening? I the first time I saw it, it was east of Lookout Landing. It's kind of where there's a shrine in the sky kind of that you
Uh-huh.
can kind of reach on the ground. There's like something coming down to it.
Mm.
Uh and they spawned in from over there. And keep in mind you have like 4 hearts when you're doing this. You're just trying to get shrines so you can get more hearts and more stamina.
Mm.
So it's like your first experience with these horrifying demonic like creatures, these like
Those things were
hellish. Yeah.
those things were insane. I was climbing I was trying to get to one of the towers,
Mhm.
and I think what had happened was I was climbing a mountain, and I just see like this like not this it was like nighttime and it was kind of like raining
Yeah.
or snowy, and I just see I see like the I don't even see the hands. I just see the what do you call it? The gloom moving.
Yes. Yes.
So I go
Yes.
closer to it, and then hands pop out and start chasing me. I was like, "What the heck is
Mhm.
that?" So I start running away because at this point of the game, I still haven't like upgraded any of my hearts yet.
Yeah.
I've just been like as soon as I got off the island, I just went straight for stamina because I wanted to like run through and like get as many shrines as possible, so that way I can just keep warping to it. Probably not the most optimal way to do it. Probably just
Oh
better to get
yeah.
it over with and just keep moving on. But I just wanted hella like warp points and getting to all the towers as possible and whatnot. And
Right. Yeah.
so like I just kept walking around and just activating shrines and heading out of there. So I had 4 hearts, and I just kept like upgrading my stamina. That said, I saw the hands, and I'm trying to avoid it because I know I'm gonna get one shot, obviously. And then I start hearing the song pop off.
Oh my god, yeah.
I was like, what the heck is this? Like, I'm like, why is this? Does the song sound so crazy to me right now? And honestly, like, it's such the music in this game is such a good touch, man. Like, I don't think there's a single song in this game so far that I don't like. Because all the songs like really fit the tone, especially like when it comes to like those kind of enemies, or even like your first drop in the depths.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool experience too. When I first dropped in, I was like, oh, okay, like a quick little hole I go in. Speaking of, I did not know that the depths were gonna be a thing. Like,
I didn't either. I just thought it was gonna be the 2 regions, and
yeah,
I
like
thought
the Sky
that's like
Islands.
why my expectations were like tied to, well, the sky is you got to be limited to what you can do up there, because you have to have, like the sea and things like that. So I was
Yeah,
like,
like
this feels
honestly,
like the same game, or like that was my expectation.
yeah, it's gonna be like kind of the same, except you there's like places in the sky you can go to.
Mhm.
Like honestly, like I spent less time in the sky than anything.
Yeah,
And
I
that was like
agree.
the primary thing like advertised. I thought I would be up here like a hell of a lot, but that's not even the case. So like
Mhm.
it's so interesting that they were able to hide a completely different map. And it's the same freaking size as like the main map. So now you have
Right.
3
Yeah.
areas. You have the Sky Islands, which is really cool, by the way. I can't even like
Oh
say
yeah.
that it's not. They're like tiny little puzzles for the most part. Places you can get like a certain equipment, and
Yeah.
um and those little gotcha machines. I don't even know what the heck
Yeah.
you call
Yeah.
those.
Um.
Which are pretty cool too.
Mhm.
And then you have like the depths, dark as heck, scary
Mhm.
enemies, gloom that you can't
Oh
recover
yeah.
from unless you go to a light route. Like,
Like the depths are I'd say that, and the hands, like going in there for the first time.
oh,
Tears of the Kingdom does such a great job with your feeling of exploration, because it's new content for the player, right? Like
mm,
the overworld is the same map, but this is like newfound, and it's like dark and scary, and it's a new take on things, and it's done really well.
mm-hmm.
But also it's like it's panic inducing at times, because you don't know what you're doing for the most part.
Yeah, you gotta have hella, like, what are those things? The blooms? The bright bloom
Um,
seeds. Yeah.
yes, you do. Yeah, and like if you are playing the game legally, then it can be kind of you got to conserve them, you can't just
Yeah, you
use
can't just shoot
willy-nilly
them
and then
all out all over the
hop on your
place.
shield and then get
Yeah.
30 more.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So,
which is definitely something a lot of people have been doing, and they
yeah,
recently patched it, which
they
is real
did.
funny. Yeah, I haven't
I
gotten
mean, it
around
was
to
gonna happen,
updating
yeah.
yet. I'm not
I'm not
mad
either.
at that. No,
No, I'm not either.
I'm not too mad at it. Because of course people will find another way, or even if it's like
Mhm.
extremely obnoxious to do it.
People do it, yeah.
I think I've had my fill for cloning. I think.
The fact that it's so easy was the shocking thing to me. Usually for duplication glitches, you have to be a little more technical, but
Yeah.
this was like, hold ZL, press X and A, and then Y and B, and then you're good.
Yeah,
You
like
can do that like
you
30
don't even have
times.
to have like any like quick um like button mashing skills.
Right, yeah.
You just hop on your
You can,
shield in the air, and before you land just grab and press these 2 buttons and you're
yeah.
good. It's just
Literally a
crazy.
child could do this. This is like the easiest duplication glitch I've ever seen in a video game ever. Which is
Yeah.
crazy considering how polished this game is.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, I'm not gonna hate on it. I'm gonna I'm gonna exploit it because that's what it is.
Honestly, they did such a like, and just the build feature alone is
Oh yeah.
insane. Apparently, like when they first announced the delay of this game, it was already complete.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they just took all that the time from when they announced the delay up till the release, they were just polishing it, which I think should be
Yeah.
like honestly like the norm.
I agree. I mean, I think, I mean, you know, unfortunately, not all developers get that sort of leeway with their game.
Oh yeah, of
They
course.
have deadlines, they have to make profit, they have to do all these things. But
Hmm.
fortunately, Nintendo has the
The advantage to that.
capacity to do
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think it. You know, I don't know what they changed, but just playing it and just knowing that they've, you know, taken the time and the effort to make it really intuitive,
Hmm.
you can really see it because like you create something and it works for you, which in game design is so hard. But you know, this works out just as you'd think it. If you want to put your like driving stick on two tires and like try to fly, you can do it and it works.
I have seen. I don't know how like on Twitter with this game you've been, but like
Oh yeah.
I have seen people make some crazy
Yeah.
things, dude. I have seen people make drop ships that like
Mhm.
shoot an automatic, like it'll launch itself over like a base, like you know those little random skulls where a bunch of
Yeah.
monsters
Yeah.
hide in. I saw somebody launch like an entire like aircraft with cannons, and they'll fly it over the base, and it would just stay there in the air while he's able to jump down, and it just fires like lasers the entire freaking complex, and they just all
Yeah.
perish. And it's the funniest thing. Recently
Yeah.
I've seen someone make the forklift certified joke,
Oh
and
yeah. Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
built a legitimate forklift. It is insane. Like when you go forward, it puts the forklift thing down, and
Like
then when
realist.
you
Like
yeah,
oh my
when you
god.
back up, like the forklift part goes up, and you can carry stuff. It is
That's
insane.
awesome.
I was
Yeah.
like, how do people, like my mind goes to like, okay, let me grab a plank, put 4 tires on it, a
Yeah.
control stick, and then now I can move. But like people are making like legitimate gadgets. I've seen someone make an entire like working mech. It's
Mhm.
it is insane. Speaking of, have you well, right now you're at the point where you had to go back and talk to Pura, right?
Yes.
And then now you have to go to the castle, right? Or have you done that part already?
I've not. I'm at the point where you go to the castle. I have not gone to the castle
Okay,
yet.
okay. Yeah, that whole thing's gonna be cool for you. And when you retrieve what you need to retrieve, bro,
Mm.
that is the cool. Like I geeked out, bro,
Okay.
when I got to what I did, because there's more for you to do than
Okay.
you like. There's more.
Okay. Cool.
There's more to it. Like I was like, oh man, like now I have this, and now it's time to go to the castle, and then my adventure is gonna end, but it's not.
All right.
There's
All right.
still more to do, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like what's to come, like when you start that process
Yeah.
of going to the castle and everything after that, things open up even more, and like
Okay.
the things that you get to do it, with certain things, it's like I didn't even know this was a thing in the game, and I am so freaking glad that I like. I was like, I don't know how they managed to put this in and do this, but also I've seen like people make like working mechs and have it like walk around with like the arms and everything, and the
Mhm.
arms will have
Yeah.
like cannons and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And it's just insane what people come up with in order to build. And I feel like I'm so like behind in comparison
Yeah.
of like.
I've only done like the fan planes and that's about it.
Now, how much of like the side quests in Breath of the Wild have you really done? Because I feel like I've done a decent amount of
Um.
side quests in Breath of the Wild. I can't say that I went out of my way to try to 100% or do as much as possible, but like I feel like I've done enough where I can easily say like I feel like I get more rewarded in this game for side quests than I did in that game. I
You
feel
know,
like I can.
I really can't remember because on a previous save that I did a bunch of them. Not all of them or anything, but
Right.
like what was accessible to me, I did a lot of them. But in this game, I feel like I'm doing more. I don't know. because I've had multiple saves on Breath of the Wild, and I've had different priorities for what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I haven't done everything in the game, unfortunately. But I feel like in this game I can do everything.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, this game is definitely. I feel like I've already spent more time playing this game.
For
Oh
you.
wait, actually, right here, Breath of the Wild. I spent 265 hours. I'm
Okay.
already halfway to that in Tears of the
Okay.
Kingdom, and
Nice.
I've spent I feel like in a shorter new update data found. Install it now? No, start software.
No. No, sir. No.
Not quite yet for that. Not
We're
quite
not
ready
there
for
yet.
that update yet.
I'm not built for that yet. No. All
Yeah,
right.
I still think I got more I want to possibly like take care of first.
Right,
Before
yeah, I
commit
got I
to
got
that.
some business meetings to take care of real quick. Don't mind me. Don't mind what I'm doing. I'm just taking care of business, man.
Like if for some reason it auto updates against my will, you know what? I've had a nice run, but aside
Yeah.
from that, like let me keep rocking with this exploit. Don't ask me
Yeah.
about. Don't ask
Legal,
me.
legal. I paid $70 for this. I get to do what I want in my game.
Right. And I've seen like people like already complaining like, yeah, I'm so glad they're patching this stuff out. I don't even use exploits, and it's like, come on, man, like it's a
You're a
single
loser if you don't use the.
it's a single player experience, you know, like not like it's the same thing as like with Animal Crossing when people were like figuring out how to like clone
Oh yeah,
like things.
we use not to say that we did or did not do that, but
All right, all
you
right,
know,
all
we
right.
we took place and we did what we needed to do, and
I think by the time I found out about the glitch, it was too late. I couldn't clone
yeah.
crap. I had to rely on like turnip inflation and the fact that I
Mhm.
had two switches. So I would just jump from town to town with me and Lisa, and
Yeah,
whoever had the
yeah.
best amount of stuff, we would just go
I
ahead and
think I think me and Synth did it once, but I don't recall what. I know we did a separate duplication where you quickly empty out your bells and then you have to leave and then come back. Uh,
yeah, that we did. But I remember
that
there was
still
like
works, I think.
I don't think that's something that they can fix because that has to do with like
The
saving the
netcode.
game
Yeah.
and like you know, going from one town to another and try. I don't think they can do anything to circumvent like the saves of that,
Yeah.
and
You're
especially because
probably
they have
right.
a built-in autosave feature on top of
Okay.
that, which also helps with
Mhm.
with it. I don't think there's a way to do that. I feel like if they let us control that kind of function too, it's not even like they can take off the autosave to try to prevent it, because if they give us the option to do it, it'll just make it even easier. So
Okay. No, I see. Yeah.
so I think like just these like with when it comes to like glitches and things of that nature for a single player experience, like I like who cares? Like
I think patching is fine, like in that case, because it's clearly not an intended part of the game. It's
yeah,
really
yeah,
easy
yeah.
to pull off,
I,
and
I
like,
just mean in regards to like people getting upset about
no, yeah,
like I think that's
I'm
just silly.
indifferent about it, you know?
Like not every like this game is massive,
Mhm.
and like there are sections where like for example upgrading your equipment so you don't get consistently one-shotted by literally everything. Like, cause
Mhm.
I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 12 hearts, and like
Electricity.
I was getting this. I have upgraded like basically the equipment that I went into the fights with,
Mhm.
and I was still getting like 2, 3 shot,
Yeah.
and with upgraded so I can't even imagine like being able to progress. Like unless you're really nice at parrying and doing the sneak
Mhm.
strikes and your weapons are absolutely insane,
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
like if you don't have like like some of your clothes like upgraded by the Great Fairy, you're probably gonna keep getting destroyed, especially by like gloom enemies. Oh my god, because when they hit you, whatever they take away, it's like those uh hearts are gone.
Mm. Yeah.
It's crazy. Um, but I recently beat the game, and you probably saw my post, but like this is probably my
Yes.
favorite my favorite like final boss, like the
Okay.
entire sequence, like everything about like the like knowing that you're getting ready to hop into the final dungeon. When you reach a certain point, you'll know when it's time.
Mhm.
And like from the point where you decide that it's time to go, like everything from that point on was just amazing, bro.
Mhm.
Amazing. I think I haven't felt like that goosebumpy about like the process since like Ocarina of Time. And I
Okay.
gotta say like that was one of my favorites because for one, like that was like my first Zelda game.
Okay.
And uh like the like for a kid, like that kind of length of a game where you have to figure all this stuff out, like I didn't really know about Zelda like that. So
Yeah.
like getting through this whole process with all the dungeons and all the characters, there's hella dungeons in that game, and like getting through all that and finally reaching this climax in the tower and having to like work your way up to Ganondorf, that
Mhm.
whole process and even the fights, like it was just epic. So like with this game, it's like the exact same feeling. The music, like the enemies that you gotta go through, everything. It was just so well done, bro. So well done. And I'm sure you beat Breath of the Wild, but like,
Yes.
like I did not care for like the calamities at all.
No, yeah.
They were
I
all
mean,
generally the same to me. Except Thunderblight. Thunderblight was annoying. Like he was the same to me, but like he was just far more annoying.
yeah.
Like as a boss, because he was like zip around and like he would just easily one shot you with stuff, make you drop all your items, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. A lot of the blights were easier than the final boss, so
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially
I
if you
mean,
learned how to parry.
Thunderblight Ganon? Oh my god.
Yeah, Thunderblight was annoying. That was probably the hardest blight for me
Yeah.
personally. But they were all like generally like the same, like in terms of like tone or whatever. Like they all felt really. They did not feel unique at all, aside from the fact like, all right,
Yeah.
this one is your element, and you have to use this corresponding skill to get through. That's not to say like it wasn't like good or anything. Like I thought
Right,
like
yeah.
those fights were like fine,
Mhm.
but like
Comparatively, like,
yeah,
compared to
yeah,
this,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
these are
yeah.
way better.
I will say though, for the Breath of the Wild final boss, I did
Mm.
like the fact that they added to it depending on if you went and completed that fight. I did really like that a lot.
Mhm.
Like if you didn't beat a divine beast, that like that blight would basically come in and basically help.
Yeah.
So I did like that a lot. I think that
Mhm.
that was like a cool touch. But that and you're able to start that Calamity Ganon fight with like a decent amount of health shaved off if you
Mhm.
went out of your way to damn, getting one shot by a flux construct.
You're getting old right now? Damn. Alright, man.
If you're able
Alright.
to like
Alright, Cynos, I see how it is.
if you're able to find your way to defeating some of the blights, they'll kind of cut his health a little bit, which I don't think was necessary, but like
Right, yeah.
it's a all right, cool nod that I did it, I guess. But yeah, I did not like the I guess Dark Beast Ganon or whatever, like that
Mhm.
the last phase on the Breath of the Wild one. That thing was so easy. It was laughable. It was literally laughable. Like
Yeah.
if you got hit by that thing, because you at this point I think you're like on horseback and you have to like
Yeah.
use the light arrows to like defeat it. Like if you got hit by that, you should just sell your Switch because there should be no way that you got hurt by that thing, because it
No,
shoots
yeah, it's like
it just shoots a laser straight down the middle.
it's probably harder to get hit than, like, it is to avoid, if that makes sense. Like, the
Yeah,
chances of
like
that happening.
it was like I mean I don't know what time, like it just felt silly because like he wasn't moving at all, at least not for me. He didn't really move around at all. He shot like a big laser down the middle, I think, and that was pretty. Or he like roared, and I think that was pretty much it. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is fine. But for oh man, like every single phase of the last boss, absolutely awesome, amazing, amazing. Like when you fight him, you're gonna be like pleasantly surprised. I think it's gonna be gonna be good. Now, I do have to like get your thoughts for like when you beat the game for sure.
Okay. Yeah,
because
totally.
I know you're gonna feel like completely different, and when you get the memories.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be another discussion altogether, bro.
Yeah.
The lead up to everything that happens is you don't even know what happens because you haven't gotten the memos. Like you got the sword, but you don't know. So like I'm gonna be very curious on your thoughts when you reach that point. It's gonna be very interesting to hear and pick your brain on. But
yeah, because I was kind of lackadaisical with the memories in Breath of the Wild. I was like, okay,
I hated that.
Maybe I'll do this at some point.
I hated the ways that thing functioned like completely. They were hard to find. You had to like memorize like locations, and like a lot of those locations, like some of them were like, okay, I know where this is, and then other times it was like, how the heck am I gonna figure this out
or something?
Yeah, like
it's like a recaptcha. You know, you gotta find all the buses or something like that.
Yeah, like how the hell am I gonna find this one random spot in this like region? Like, I haven't even like gone to all like the randomly like known locations. I will say like I would always say like that Breath of the Wild was like a good game for me to like get tired and like go to sleep. And that's because like aside from the fact that the overworlds kind of felt empty-ish until you went to like certain locations where, you know, like monsters would like convene.
I don't know. I feel like the emptiness was part of like the game being post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, and I can feel that. I just mean like aside from going to like the primary dungeons, after you were done with those, you kind of really didn't have too much to do besides like the shrines, and the shrines didn't even really focus too much on enemies themselves. They only really focused on like the very bite-sized puzzle. Speaking of, how do you feel about like the temples in comparison to the divine beasts?
I feel like they both serve their purpose pretty well. I feel like keeping the temple's namesake is a bit more traditional because like that's what they've kind of always called them, but it feels kind of unique compared to the divine beast because you had to do so much like rotation of the divine beasts themselves, or like you have to use your pad to the Sheikah Slate to do whatever with it. This one, it's a little more like open. You don't have a pro, like the pro pad is not used to really do that, you know?
Yeah. No,
you're using your
the companions.
Observation skills a bit more to do it.
I will say, like, because for one, like people really hated the 3D maps for the divine beasts.
Those are tricky. Yeah,
because those were not like the best like in regards to like navigation, which I can agree. Especially the Hyrule Castle one. That one was terrible. There was no way for you to know where to go, what to do, like, or like where you are relative to the map. Like it was pretty. No. Just the Hyrule Castle itself. Like when you went to Hyrule Castle.
Yeah.
Because it's so huge, and there's so many rooms and whatnot in Hyrule Castle.
Yeah.
So many floors and whatnot in Hyrule Castle. There was no way to really tell what the heck, where you were at, where you could go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was see-through. It was like it was like, okay, you want to get your Hylian shield, cool. You're gonna have to go through Terminal B to get there, and like
It was
go through this
so
little path.
weird. It was so
Yeah.
weird. Like it was like I didn't mind the change like as like a first time thing, right? But like quickly I was like, okay, yeah, this is a little hard to kind of read.
Hmm.
Especially when they put it as like a mini map thing on the top right. Like I can't tell what the heck is going on here. It's just a moving, like every time I turn the camera, the castle would move, like the little 3D castle would move on the top right before I zoomed into
Right.
it. I will say I did like the ability to kind of control the divine beasts and have that
Hmm.
interact with the temple, so to speak. But most of the temples in this game, I feel like it felt longer
Okay. Yeah.
than the divine beasts, because each thing had like 4 terminals you had to go to. And while this kind of had a similar thing where you have to find 4 or 5 of these things so we can proceed, getting to each one, um, certain ones were like easy, so you can kind of get a gist of what you have to do. Um,
Hmm.
like for example, I did the water temple in this game third, so like the size of it was kind of laughable in comparison to all the other ones. Like I spent like 30 minutes maximum throughout the entire um temple. Like once
Hmm.
the water temple title showed up, I sped through that. Like I think the hardest thing, or what took me the longest, was figuring out how to activate the little spin wheel thingies, because
Hmm.
I didn't even think to use Sidon's skill,
Yeah.
even though by now it probably should have already clicked to me that I had to use the skill of each like champion to do that. But I was like, how the hell
Right.
do I turn this? I was like, there's no water flow here. I can't turn it with the thing. I can't. I don't think I can attach anything to the wheel to turn it. So I was like, what the heck am I doing?
Yeah. I
Um,
stocked up on the oh, what's it called?
I tried throwing a splash
The
fruit
splash
at it.
fruit. Yeah, that's what I used. I had like 60 of them. And I'm like, okay, this way I'm gonna do the entire time. And I was like, you can also use choo choo, like the just the regular choo choo jelly. I until the boss fight, I didn't know you could use Sidon. I was like, man, I wasted this entire time not knowing I could do that. This is kind of annoying.
Like with the sludge, like you didn't use
I
Sidon
just
for the
used
sludge.
the No, I just used the splash fruit.
That's hilarious,
Like
actually.
like Splatoon. I just used the splashes. Not Splatoon. What am I thinking? Fortnite.
But
Couldn't remember the
no,
name of the game.
no, but no, yeah, no, yeah, no. I understood, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool that, but even you bringing that up,
Mhm.
it leaves the point that there's so many different ways to get through things. Like I've been having a
Right.
lot of fun like comparing what I did to everybody else. Uh,
Yeah.
like there was another viewer that would come to the streams, and he would see like there's a part in the wind temple, I think,
Mhm.
where there's like a huge crack in the ceiling, like a
Yeah.
huge hole in the ceiling, and there was a bunch of like like of the broken ceiling on the
Mhm.
floor. So I tried to attach those and use it as a ladder to climb up, but it was like barely high enough to like reach it. So I
Yeah.
was like really racking my brain, how the heck do I go up there, because I knew that was somewhere I had to go. So
Mhm.
like I don't know how anybody else got up there, but he pointed out like, oh wow, I can't believe that, like that actually worked. He got there different. I put a bomb on my shield,
Yeah.
and I like flipped on top of it, and the explosion propelled me high enough to glide onto the wall and just climb out of the ceiling.
Mhm.
Like even like there's certain like gates where I either you had to like prop something to keep it up, or all I did was like drag it up, and then I used recall to just keep it
Mhm.
keep it in the air while I pass through. So like
Yeah.
it's just something about the game that I love, that you can just figure out so many different ways to
Yeah, I agree.
figure your way through puzzles. It's so cool to me.
Because I feel like Breath of the Wild, it's you have so much freedom in that game too, but it's
Hmm.
just different because it's like within the context of having stasis and the bombs and things like that.
Hmm.
So like going around fighting is like based around that, and doing the puzzles are based around that. So I feel like it's a little more restrictive.
Hmm.
You know, you have to have the specific things. That's a Lionel. I'm out of here. sorry. It took a moment. I'm in the depths. I just saw Lionel, and I'm
Oh
not.
no, I
I'm not
don't.
built for that. I'm
Listen,
not built for that.
like even with all my prep,
Yeah.
I still avoid them like crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I still avoid them. Like
Yeah.
I can't fight them. Like even when I ran into them near the ending, like with all my gadgets in prep, like I was still struggling and fighting a Lionel with gloom attached to it.
No, no. I'm out of there, bro.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. No, sir. Get that out
Yeah.
of my
I'm
face.
not meant to do that. I'm just not meant to do that.
Like
You know.
I'll wait until I'm like very
I'm
well
good.
stacked up with health to
Mhm.
fight a Lionel, man, because I can't.
Mhm.
Have you been doing anything with the compendium at all? A lot of people don't be really paying attention to the
I've done
compendium at all.
a little bit more than what I did at
Breath of the Wild.
than Breath of the Wild, because I did a little bit, because I didn't know it was a thing for a little while. So
Mhm.
because not only you have to use the compendium to get some of the upgrades for your Purapad,
Mhm.
so I've done like that. But I've also done just like out of habit, because now I've done that. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this if I get a new item, if there's a new enemy.
Yeah. No, it's a very interesting list of like stuff you can collect and
Yeah.
like it's so funny. I see like random things. I'm like, did I take a picture of that before? And
Yeah.
I just have to like I just have to scan it and see if something is scannable. I grab a bunch
You
of
gotta
new
double
items.
check.
I'm like, all right, I put it down. I just take a
Mhm.
snap a photo like for the compendium, and then I move on.
Right. Yeah. You gotta convince yourself that you did it.
It's like, all right. I mean, it's something to do for sure. Like
Yeah.
it's not something that gets in your way at all, unless you want like the
Mhm.
upgrade for the compendium, or for the
Right.
Purapad or whatever. Which
Like
you don't
completions are going
even.
crazy.
Oh yeah, I've seen there's somebody on Twitter that already tweeted how they 100% speed ran the game, and
Yeah.
they found like so many Koroks. They found all the Koroks. They got all the fabrics, all the shrines, the what is it?
I
These
think it was Small Ant that did that. Yeah.
yeah, I think that might have been him. But
Mhm.
bro, it took him 170 something hours to speed run the 100%. So
Yeah. That's
that's
like
like the fastest you'll ever be able to do it, like
like
roughly
that can get
speaking.
optimized a little bit, but not much. Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, bro, like I barely got anywhere, man. Like he must
Yeah.
have been on Breath of the Wild like crazy to
I don't
kind of
think I
get an
could do that.
idea on how to do
Yeah.
this. Like this is the game that will take you forever to just do that casually. So like I
I
don't
feel
even.
like, yeah, if you're really honed in even casually to do that, I feel like minimum that is you're looking at a 400-hour commitment minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so
'Cause
crazy.
I feel
But
like 100%ing Breath of the Wild is kind of like, ah man, I don't know. I feel like at least 300 hours, but like just the amount of content, and like I might be underballing it a little bit, but it just feels like there's more.
mhm.
So like by proxy.
In this game, absolutely. I will say it's
Mhm.
probably easier in this game to find. Oh god, this construct tried firing a rocket at me.
Easier to
Um,
find.
it's probably easier to find like overworld shrines in this game than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Primarily because number one, in this game you can launch yourself so high in the air that you can just kind of pinpoint a lot of the shrines off rip.
Yeah.
But also it's easier to find the light roots in the depths, and using the fact that for every like light root there's a shrine right above it. All you really have to do is find all the light roots in the depths, and you've found basically all of the shrines.
Well, I think in Breath of the Wild, there's, at least to my knowledge, there is a lot more shrine quests. So,
You might be right with that also.
so I feel
So
like,
some.
you know, you have to do a lot of those before you're able to actually get to the shrine.
Mm,
So I've only had like 2 or 3 shrine quests in this game.
mm. Oh yeah, I've had a couple of shrine quests. Um, yeah, I think there's definitely more shrine quests in
Hmm.
Breath of the Wild for sure. Um, I don't know if there's more like shrines overall in Breath of the Wild or not. That one I
think
can't
it's
say for
160,
sure.
right?
For this
I don't
game?
remember. For Breath of the Wild.
Something along.
You
needed enough to get like the maximum hearts, and
yeah.
I think the max hearts in that game was like 3 shy of 2 full bars. And there's usually a lot of hearts just for 1 bar anyway.
Yeah.
So I like that times 4. I'm terrible at math, so I'm not even gonna attempt it. But with that said, ooh, don't hit the wall. There you go. For shrine quest, like just the process of getting the shrines in this game, I feel is a little easier. Because you can kind of pinpoint a lot of the locations easier in this game. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
But that said, there's so much more to this game.
Yeah. And like for some games, more content doesn't always equal like a better game. But this game, it's like the more content, the better. It really does it so many favors.
Yeah, because honestly, like, being able to navigate the world the way that you can, and in so many different fashions, like it's not boring to do at all. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Nothing feels like a chore.
Yeah, it all feels really fresh, and it all feels very rewarding to do it in the order that you want to. Like I love how I don't think I'll ever have an experience in gaming that is playing Breath of the Wild for the first time, and I don't think this game replicates that. That was a special feeling that I don't think I'll ever have.
Yeah,
but
no, I can agree.
Judging this just on its like qualities as a game, this it beats it in every possible category, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think the primary reason why that is because like we like for this game we don't get that same first feeling because it uses the same engine, you know, and like we've already experienced a huge amount of it already, so like we kind of get an idea already on how this is supposed to go, and Breath of the Wild being the way that it was as the first to do it in the oh my god, what is that? Oh, that's the Frost Gleeok. I'm not fighting that.
Okay, yeah.
Being the first to do it for Zelda is just an experience altogether. And I've played a lot.
They
of
always
open
sneak up
world
on you
games.
though, those enemies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like I've played a lot of open world games before, but like this being Zelda kind of hits a little differently because I've played so much Zelda already, so I'm familiar with its typical format, and seeing like, everything that it's changed is just crazy. I need this moose to sit still so I can take a picture for the compendium. Thank you.
Nintendo has a bit of a benefit of having a legacy of like incredible games that they've had over the years, to where like it's why it's so hard to make another 2D platformer or a game like Zelda, or like a 2D, like a side down or top down adventure game, because you know it's always gonna feel like another one of those Nintendo games because they've mastered it at a really early time in game development and also accessibility to America.
That's kind of how I feel like
like all that, yeah.
Like even with stuff like Super Mario Maker, like when they first came out with that thing was like revolutionary to me.
Oh, it was awesome, yeah.
Like, it's like they never need to make another side-scrolling Mario game ever again, because like they can just have everyone else do it.
Right, yeah, they can do their dirty work.
Yeah, it's so smart, and but at the same time it's such a method of making sure that you can pump out so much from just that game alone.
Right.
You know, like who needs another one when you can literally go online and download a level you've never played before, and download enough levels where that's basically a full Mario game right there.
Right. I mean, people, you have your own custom worlds that people like painstakingly make or very lazily create, and like those take hours at a time to beat. And some of my
Yeah.
favorite memories I've played with my technically like my nephew-in-law.
Mm.
He's young enough to where he's like my brother-in-law, to where we've just like played tons and tons and tons of these worlds over and over and over. Not over and over, but like since there's so many of them,
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of play like any of them. So
Yeah.
that's what we just do a lot. Yeah.
No, it's a really good concept, and it's the same with this game. Like, there's so many, like, everyone's gonna go through the same like shrines or the same temples, and
Yeah.
but like no one is gonna experience or do the exact same thing, which
Right.
they've really cracked a formula with Breath of the Wild. And honestly, like, after beating it, and I think I tweeted about it too, like I'm gonna be real sad, like, leaving this universe. Like, I'm still
Hmm.
not even over, like, you definitely got to get all the memories before you go,
Definitely. Yeah.
like going up to the castle and all that, because it's kind of crazy. When
Hmm.
you piece everything together, and then possibly even like watch it in order if you get confused. But like,
Hmm.
everything that happens is like, dang, bro. Like, I am not ready to leave this, because I think this is the first Zelda game where we spent this long in with a specific iteration. Because I'd say
Hmm.
like
That's a good question.
we've had 3 games with this iteration of Link and Zelda and all these other characters. So like
Yeah.
we've had Breath of the Wild, we've had Age of Calamity, which is technically not canon, but it's still a whole adventure anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then
It's like 7 years of this universe plus like 3 games over that time, two of
yeah,
which are
and
mainline.
yeah, and it's not often where you get like a a direct sequel to a Zelda game like that.
Yeah.
I don't think a Zelda game has really done that before. I mean, like, Majora's Mask
Except,
did that
yeah.
with Ocarina of Time, but like, it's not like he gets completely sent into a completely different, essentially a different dimension. So it's like, while it's the same Link,
Yeah.
and even though the models for a lot of the characters are the same, they're all completely different characters. So it's
Yeah.
essentially a different game with the same Link, but like, it doesn't feel like a like that. At least to me, that game doesn't feel like a direct sequel. Besides, like, the fact that it's Link looking for Navi or whatever.
It's hard for
Um,
me to say because I haven't spent a lot of time playing Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. I have
mm,
both of the 3DS versions, but I had them at a younger age where I was not very good at Zelda, so I didn't play them for very long.
yeah,
Um, so I can't say for certain, but I feel like that would be the only other game, unless if you want to say like A Link Between Worlds is a spiritual successor to like, uh, a Link in Time,
mm,
Between Time. Like that's the only other 2 games, or well, 2 pairs of games that I can think.
yeah. But like just in general, like, having, oh, that's a big ice block. Okay, I gotta definitely destroy that. But I feel like, in regards to like the general universe that this game has built with all
Yeah,
these memorable characters, like, I know how it goes with Zelda, and I know they definitely eventually probably have to move on, but I'm not ready for that, man. I'm just
yeah,
not. I don't want to
yeah.
like
I'm
start a
very
new game with like a new Link in Zelda, bro, and then like I'm not gonna see Riju again. I'm not gonna see like
right.
like all these characters that I like got used to. I'm like, dang, bro,
Yeah,
this is gonna be sad, man. Like,
yeah. I feel that. I feel that.
I don't want to start all over in a new universe, bro. I've already helped like save this one throughout 2 games.
Twice, 2 times over, you've saved their world. So yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be able to see like Ronson and Hudson. Like, come on, man.
Uh-huh.
Like, they gave me
Uh-huh.
these such good characters, and now I know that they have to like eventually depart or give me a new Link in Zelda, and I
Yeah, it's hard to
can't
move
deal,
on
bro.
from a game like that.
No, it's such a good like series, that,
Hmm.
or a good universe that they've like really built up here, and damn,
It's
just wait till you breed it, bro.
oh yeah.
Okay. Whoa.
No, I agree though. This game has been so masterfully like worked on and created. They've done such a great job. It's gonna be weird. I don't even like a new Zelda is already years down the line anyways.
Yeah, I know. Like I beat it and I was like, dang, bro, it's over.
Yeah. But like I definitely understand your feelings towards you know, a new game like that. So
Like I'm usually so used to them just like a new Zelda's announced. I'm like, all right, cool, we're about to play another Zelda game, and they introduce like new concepts or whatever, and you know, I get used to new
yeah, this is different.
characters, etc. But like for this, it's like,
Damn.
these the same people, these the same characters, and then we played with them for like years. So like, or we've had them for a decent amount of
Yeah.
time. So I'm like, dang, man.
The world building in Breath of the Wild was so organic, and like, you know, it's kind of a cheat code for them to use the same like the work they've already done. But you really do feel like a level of connectivity. Connectivity? Is that I don't even know if that's a word, but like
General sentiment still stands.
yeah, there's like a level of connection. There we go.
Yeah.
Was that for good syntax?
Yeah.
Between the games, and I just love the universe they've crafted here. It feels lived in, and it feels authentic, which I feel is really hard for these type of games. Either you get into like the uncanny valley for like Elder Scrolls, where like the dialogue becomes memes because of or like things like that.
Yeah.
Or, this game not so much. It's a little bit of a different approach. So
Yeah.
and there's no right or wrong option. I'm happy there's no expansive like voice acting in Zelda though. I'm kind of okay with just cutscenes.
Yeah. No. Like, I like what they've done with this game. Like I wouldn't mind them going back to, you know, whatever though. But like
Like
again,
just grunts.
or like just like the regular dialogue like they've always really done. But I think what they've done with this really get this rice enemy, don't go away. I think they've done a really good job with like the voice actors that they went with. Like even like it's so funny, like even like the voice actor for Ganondorf, he was like a huge Zelda fan before.
The English VA? Or...
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So it's really cool that he was able to like.
He did it great. He was like good.
Yeah, no,
I haven't seen all the cutscenes with him, but like from what I've observed, I know the Breath of the Wild Zelda and some of the other voice actors get some critique, and rightfully so. I feel like that's fair. So far from what I've heard, I feel like it's been just fine. Like I haven't had a problem with any of the voice actors.
Yeah, me neither.
People really seem to like Purah, which is understandable. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely like her.
Yeah, they like her a lot.
Yeah, a little too much sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say that they really played into it. I mean, people like kind of the messy but smart types. She's kind of like she's not even
definitely
ditzy,
fits,
but she's like smart.
Yeah, she definitely
like
fits a very particular archetype for sure.
Yeah.
Very, very easily. Yeah, like her design, like the designs for a lot of the characters were really good.
Oh, I agree. I feel like that's
like,
you know, looking back on the designs of the Zelda games, this one's been really great, I feel.
Yeah.
Except for furry bait Raru over there, but you know, besides that.
Yeah, Raru's very interesting, bro.
Like I was thinking about, oh, this is gonna be awesome. We're gonna see the first king of Hyrule. That's really great. And it's this anthropomorphic 7-foot tall guy, and he's like, I'm the first king of Hyrule, and I gave you my arm, and
married to a Hylian.
Yeah, like he's married to the first He's married to Hylia? I don't.
No, that wasn't, I don't remember what her name is. You haven't gotten that cutscene, so I'm going to
I
let
don't
you
think so.
figure
No.
that out. I'll let you
Okay.
figure that out. But
Yeah.
no, it's a really cool. It's a really cool. Oh man, you really gotta get them cutscenes, bro.
I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. It's
You,
one step at a time.
yeah, you like there's so much that happens in those cutscenes alone. And at first I was like, dang man, it's like at first when I was in the process of collecting them, I was still like,
Yeah.
dang bro. So like we're still in this mix where everything interesting happening is in a different time period as Link.
Yeah.
Like that was like my first sentiment, but honestly, like all those cutscenes really did was like give a lot of context for like a lot of the characters and whatnot. I'm not mad at it. At first I was like, man, like I can't believe like I haven't seen Ganondorf this entire time, or I was hoping, like even now I would say like I was really hoping that I would see more of him in the game. But I will say,
Yeah.
like, after watching all the cutscenes and seeing everything happening, and when you've done them all at a decent pace or whatever, and you get all that context and whatnot, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm okay with this, because like the characters that you're interacting with currently in this current time period, it doesn't feel like you're just being thrusted into a random problem and having no choice but to kind of fix it anyway. So like while I'm dealing with these things, you know, like miscellaneous things are happening on Zelda's end, and that's essentially what you're kind of finding out, because you're trying to find out where she's at. So it's not bad. I've withdrawn my initial complaint. How the heck do I get out of here?
Where are
Oh,
you at?
I'm in some random cave that I had to drop down. I might just ascend. Duh. I keep forgetting sometimes like in critical areas I completely forget about ascend. It's so funny, but it's such a
Yeah.
all these abilities are so cool. Ooh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you prefer these abilities or the Breath of the Wild ones?
I do. And it took some time for me to admit that, because I feel like
Wait, so
the
you prefer like the Breath of the Wild ones?
No, other way around.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of things that do the Breath of the Wild abilities just in a different sort of fashion. Like the only thing I was missing really was Rivali's Gale, which it's kind of broken. You know, they give you 3 every 8 minutes, so it's like it's kind of overkill with that. But
Understandable.
so I was like, man, I really wish I could get up there and fly around. But you know, this game, it's not dependent on the overworld. Plus, you can make a sky plane and you can duplicate your.
Oh, yeah, I was
your
gonna say like at first I could see like, yeah, I can see people wanting, because I remember like initially seeing a lot of people saying like, oh man, you never know what you miss until it's gone, and it's like people
Right.
posting about Rivali's Gale, and also like the bombs that you can spawn. And I'm like I didn't mind the bombs. I think they kind of made certain fights for me kind of like one note, because with the way that the weapons functioned in that game
Yeah.
and constantly breaking, most of the times you had to really lean on it.
Yeah. If you were fighting a bokoblin or something like that, or like a skull like the skeleton bokoblin ones, all you need is to use a bomb, and like you have 2 of them. They're both dead and easy. You're not using any durability, so. I feel like that was great. I do like having the bombs, but just using a little duplication glitch on the bomb flowers, you know, you get that right back. And
Yeah, I mean, and even if you're traveling, traversing the depths a lot, they are absolutely not hard to find at all. Especially if you put them on your low point sensor plus.
yeah,
Extremely, like I get pings for it constantly. I was like, dang man, like I'm running out of bombs here. But honestly, every time I go to a store, every time I went to a store, because now it's kind of easy to get.
Mhm.
And I figured out a trick too, because like I used to like try to dupe those, and then I would blow up.
Right.
I'd forget that I'm wearing like a suit that has like 0 defense on it, and I would just explode and die by accident in my own home.
Mhm.
But I think if you like jump on the shield and wait till you're like closer to the floor and clone them, they're not high enough to like explode. Same thing with like when I'm cloning like milk or like anything in a
Yeah.
bottle, because I really like that they it's a small thing, but I kind of like that they kind of shatter if you're too high. Or
Right,
like,
yeah. I've tried to clone the bomb flowers before, and it just kills you instantly because you drop 5 of them down there, or 10 of them.
oh yeah, no, like doing too
Yeah.
much of them like at once. I usually have to like I'll go to my house, I'll like jump, and I'll wait till like my shield is not too close to the ground, that when you press start again, it's like, oh, you can't do that because it thinks like you're too close to the floor or you're already touching it. But like
Mhm.
low enough to the floor where it dropping from this distance will not destroy me. And
Yeah.
I'll only drop like 5, and then I'll pick them up, and then I'll just do it again over and over. Because, and like that'd be the way to do it. Or with the same thing, like, I would drop like jars of oil, or
Mhm.
like bottles of milk, because I don't feel like going all the way over to warp and have them restock the milk, and then I gotta
Right,
fast
yeah.
forward. Same thing with like wheat. I was having a really hard time finding wheat in the beginning of the game, and so many recipes needed it. I was like, man, I'm gonna clone this. I
The
can't.
Hylian,
No, not the Helian rice. No, just the
okay.
like the legitimate
Oh,
Tabantha
okay.
rice,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or the Tabantha wheat. I was like, what the heck, man? Why can't I find Tabantha? Like, because the only place you were able to get it is like Gerudo, and then
Yeah.
like I think in like the Tabantha region, which is like right near
That's
and that's in
northwest, right?
Hebra. Yeah, in
Yeah.
Hebra, like by the Ritos, like right under the right side of the Rito village.
I
I'm
know
like,
I know the regions like
man.
the back of my hand, man. I can be like a taxi cab driver, you know?
Yeah, I've seen like, it's so funny you say that. Like when the trailers for the game came out and they were
Mhm.
showing like Ganondorf for the first time and all these other things, like the most recent like major trailer
Yeah.
before the game's release, like people were able to dox where the characters
Oh no.
were, and
Yeah.
it was so fun, like where the characters in game were. Like
Yeah.
they found the exact spot where like Zelda was located at when she was giving certain speeches in the trailer, and like where the brown skinned character was when
Which one?
Hylia, or the character
Oh,
that's unnamed
yes.
that you haven't found. Like they found
Yeah,
out
yeah,
where
yeah.
her location was at.
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Um, in that trailer, I don't recall seeing the anthropomorphic Zonai character at all. I don't recall
No,
seeing him in the trailer
I
at
don't think
all.
so either.
I just
Yeah, I
remember
think they
seeing like someone who looked like Zelda. I think that's the only new character they really teased, and of course the design for
Yeah.
Ganondorf.
Yeah, I don't recall that being part of any of the trailers at all. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So like but like literally everything that they find in the trailer is just so
Mhm.
easily like found. And someone quote retweeted, and it was like, Hyrule has a doxing problem, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
Mhm.
But no, it's so cool that everything is so. Cause I like that they put the coordinates on the radar now. That's kind of cool.
I wish you could use that like when you're moving around
I know, on
your
the
thing
map.
on the map. I
Oh my
wish you could do that.
god, it needs to follow the cursor. It's
Yeah.
cool that it shows you like the like the your completionist rating and your like the
Mhm.
time in the game, the temperature, and the coordinates, but it's not showing me the coordinates of where I'm moving to. It doesn't even, like, when you
Right.
hover over a stamp, it doesn't even show you like what the coordinates of that stamp is, so you can't even like cross-reference anything. I'm like,
No,
dang, man.
yeah, it's not very forgiving, which that's maybe my only gripe. Like That's actually like a problem of the game, not like, oh, you removed whistle sprinting, dude. Why'd you do that? Like, no, they removed that because that wasn't intended. That should have been intended, you know?
Yeah, they did a lot of quality of life updates with Breath of the Wild in regards to DLC. So I'm curious to see if like they feel like they've pushed the envelope with this game enough that they don't need it. But if they do end up adding DLC, I'm very curious to see where they go because the Champions ballad thing was cool.
So there is DLC planned because they have 2 heart slots that aren't used, and those would be used for presumably shrines.
But I feel like that was the same thing. Well, I don't know how it was in Breath of the Wild, but I could have sworn like the extra hearts was intentional because you needed to use like soft beds and health items to gain those.
No, I don't think it was.
Because I don't recall. I feel like you were still able to gain the yellow hearts even after the DLC was over.
Okay. No, I'm not talking about those. There was 2 heart slots that aren't used in this game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
like even in Breath of the Wild, it was like that, but it was 3 hearts.
Oh, okay. I don't know that. Huh.
I feel like I know in the beginning of this game, like you start off with, you know, that, but I remember like because because then like using soft beds and certain health items that gave you extra hearts would be kind of useless at that point. I think I think that was intentional in regards to that. I think.
Okay.
Because I know like when you get the maximum stuff, like you'll still have the 2 empty slots.
Right. Yeah.
But I think like at that point you're supposed to use like those extra health items for that.
Okay. Yeah. I can't recall off the top of my head.
Yeah. But that said, oh my God, have you fought trees yet?
Yes, they're easy.
They are. But the first time I died, I died.
You died to a tree?
I did when I was first helping.
What?
When I was first helping Hetsu. And here's the thing.
No, you died to a tree. How does that?
Here's the.
How was that possible?
I died to the evergreen because listen, I didn't think that it. I was like, I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna cut it.
Oh my God, man. Oh,
I'm just gonna.
Tree.
He said, oh man, those trees are scary. I was like, no problem.
He died to a tree.
I was like, no problem. I'm gonna help this thing. So like it did. I don't know what motion it did, right? But I moved away from it, not knowing what attack it was gonna do.
Are y'all hearing this? He died to a tree.
I did. But listen, I was getting one-shotted by everything.
Okay.
I didn't think that the tree would like bend and go forward at me. I wasn't sure what attack it would do. So like when it was charging something, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna move away from you. Like, what are you gonna do? And then it bent forward and it caught me. I was like, oh, okay, bendy tree.
That wasn't part of the plan. Yeah.
Okay, it's a bendy tree. I didn't know that. Good to know. That was like the one and only time I died to one of those enemies.
Okay.
But that thing was crazy. I didn't like. First of all, I didn't know that the trees would be an enemy.
Wasn't it? I think it was in the trailer. I'm pretty sure.
For the tree?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know why I did not remember that, bro.
Maybe not, but I want to say I've seen it. Maybe it came to me in a dream, but I am.
You might be
fairly
right.
Certain.
You might be right, and I just really don't remember like the trees being an enemy. So when I ran into it, I was like, okay, oh, it's a moving tree, no problem. I'll deal with this Hetsu. You got it. And then it bent at me and it killed me. I was like, oh damn, I died to a tree.
Has there been any like major complaints for you about the game? Like
from me?
Yeah.
There's a certain part I think that that you've yet to reach that I was like, dang man, I wish like something like this interaction had happened way earlier in the game.
Yeah.
Like, cause like right like in the game so far, I think it's literally my only problem with it. And it's not even that big of a deal because like it still works. Primarily because I care about the other regions, so there's reason to go there and help them anyway.
Yeah.
but like I was really hoping that certain characters would get an interaction like way earlier in the game, because like for the most part everyone's like, oh
Okay.
man, this gloom is terrible. Like Ganon, I think it's already known that the Demon King is like returning or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
right? But he hasn't made his presence known,
Mhm.
right? So like I think
The
my
Yiga clan knows. They know
yeah,
because they're already
um
down there.
yeah. Which I find so funny. Like I went down there, I saw him, I was like, why are you alive?
Yeah.
And then I remembered like he did
Could
fall
have a
down.
heart.
I remember like they did fall down a humongous hole. And then
Mhm.
when I remembered like the chasms are exactly that. I'm surprised.
Mhm.
Number one, I'm surprised he lived it. But
Yeah. He's
like
built different.
I think that's kind of cool that that ended up being a chasm. Um so I was like, dang,
Yeah, I agree.
I could have had access to this chasm a long time ago. you know.
I wish. Yeah.
But that said, um like initially my problem was like, dang man, like everyone's complaining about like how the Demon King is like returning or whatever the case is, or like how the power, like the gloom is affecting everything, but like he hasn't made his presence known, right? Because like certain key characters are already aware like the Demon King is like returning or whatever, but it's
Mhm.
like I haven't seen him. Like, so is he really like? How do like aside from like the gloom or whatever? Like, I was hoping like he would make his presence known, and and now these bad things are happening to these places. Not that they just are happening already, because now there's no. I mean, like I understood like when you reach certain points, I was like, okay, I understand why it had to play out this way. So it's no
Mhm.
longer a complaint to me. But initially, I was like, "Dang man, like I really wish that these characters had more of an interaction, because like it seemed like a big deal in the initial cutscene of the game."
Mhm.
And he's obviously Ganondorf is like a humongous character for Zelda.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, "Dang, I really wish like he made his presence known to like everyone." And then like all these bad things, like he's the one making these bad things happen, not that it's like a
Mhm.
side product of gloom or whatever. And
Right. Yeah.
like everything that's happening um is being done remotely by him, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it's not like the gloom is doing it and passively, like he's actively orchestrating it to happen.
Mhm.
So I was like, dang, like I really wish he made his presence more known to like everyone, so that everyone's like, oh man. So that there seems to be a little bit more urgency. I wanna say
Yeah. Yeah.
like everyone's urgent to help their village or whatever, which I get, but like
Mhm.
dang, like I really wish that I wish he had a more prominent role, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I do feel. It reminds me of a little bit of Ocarina of Time, where you see Ganondorf in the first cutscene.
Yeah, he's like in the first cutscene, like
He's
the dream, and
yeah.
then I don't know if you've ever beaten it, but when you go to the castle and you talk to Zelda, you see like he's like bowing down before the king or whatever, and then he
Mhm.
turns to see like like them as kids, and
Mhm.
then you get the Master Sword. He shows up again, thanking you for like opening the doorway for him to get the Triforce, essentially.
Yeah.
Like him revealing like he knew who they were, essentially, because he's been having the same dreams, I guess,
Mhm.
and he knew that they would be the key of him getting into the sacred realm or whatever the case is. And then he takes it, and then 7 years pass, and then you see that the whole world is in disarray, because
Right.
obviously he chased Zelda and Impa out of the castle at one point. So
Mhm.
you go to open the door, and he kind of basically baits you into doing
Mhm.
that for him. And then like you see him maniacally laughing, and then now you're
Yeah.
out of nowhere, you're older, and everything is in disarray. So I was kind of really hoping like in Ocarina of Time, his presence was wildly known.
Yeah.
Like everyone in Hateno is like geeking out about Cece right now. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they have no idea what's happening. You know. Um.
I felt like, oh jeez, that voice crack. Oh my god.
No, you're
But
good.
I felt like Hateno would be more different than what it was just based off the trailer. Like all the mushrooms, like oh my god, this place
I
is like.
I hate I can't stand Cece right now, bro.
Oh, you don't like her?
Like I think as a character, I think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
She's one of those fashion. She's the fashionable character, and that
Mm,
in of itself is its own archetype, and I love that.
right. Yeah.
But like, oh my god, I hate how stupid everything in Hateno looks right now, and everybody like certain characters
With the
just wearing
hats.
normal clothes, but they just have a mushroom hat, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, no.
You're not down with it, Cynos? You're
I'm
not down
not
with the
down with that
fashion, bro?
fashion, bro.
You're behind the times, man.
I like
You're not recognizing it.
it's
You gotta
crazy. Like
respect it.
I hate the look of those stupid things,
Oh
bro.
man.
They got mushroom bags, mushroom clothes,
You're
patterns
siding
on it. Like,
you're siding with the farmers for the first time ever? You're siding with the farmers? That's crazy. You wanna be a
I'm.
farm boy, Cynos? You
It's
wanna make
kind
this
of
highly
wild,
influential,
bro.
Cynos? That's
Like,
crazy.
why mushrooms, man? Like, it's so weird, bro. Like, it's.
We'll get you a pair of overalls. We'll get you a pair of overalls. We'll get you a little farming hoe.
Have you
Make a
done
little
her
farm
like
house.
side quests?
I have, yeah.
It's so funny, bro. Like, these guys are
This
really
was
having a debate about like. You had to follow
agriculture.
CC about like hiding in the shed, like in
Mhm.
her little tower, and then the other dude freaking out about like what he can do about
Yeah.
competing with CC. And it's like,
It's
oh
definitely
boy.
funny. Yeah.
I'm like, all right, man.
Yeah, it's one of the stranger ones in the game, I feel, but it's good. It's good to have that sort of dynamic.
Yeah, no, like the side quests are really good, and the it's rewarding, and
Yeah.
even that like revealed like, oh snap, I didn't like there's a Helion hood in the game, and I didn't know that you can put it down. I don't know if that was a thing in Breath of the Wild, because I always had it up. That was like the main thing I wore,
The
and then
hood?
like yeah, like CC can put the hood down for you.
What?
Yeah, she
What? The
like the Helion hood, like the hoodie.
you can do that?
Yeah, if you talk to her with the hood
Damn.
on, she gives you the
Okay.
option to put it down, which is cool.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I also need to pick up the
The little
hairpiece that's like the Breath of the Wild hair. I don't know where that is.
that I don't know if you want spoilers for that, but
I already saw it in your stream, so okay.
it's in Zelda's house.
Right. Okay. Sure. Zelda's house. Yeah.
I worked so hard given what's his name, the material to build that.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Rod's.
yeah, no,
Oh, wait, was it the other guy?
no, it was the more feminine one.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't remember his
no.
name though.
He's in the coastal
He's
village now. Yeah.
yeah. I don't remember his name,
I don't either,
but
but I know who you're talking about.
he's the one that taught Hudson like everything he knows.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Zelda thought Zelda's a bench warmer, man. She thought she was on the team. She coasted along the entire 100 years, just chilling at Hyrule Castle, chilling with Ganon. Nah, dude. Link
like
had to struggle.
I
Link had to go
know.
through everything.
I worked so hard on that house, and you read the diary, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I can't like these guys like built me a house." I'm like, "What do you mean built you a house?
Right.
Where'd all my weapons go?" Like these guys remembered all my horses. Clearly, they should remember that this is my house, right?
Right, yeah.
She done moved in and turned my whole thing. She lucky that my house is better now. Like,
It was very I haven't gone back to the house yet, but knowing that it's like very annoying.
it's so crazy. She done stole my house, and now she's gone. She can't even live in it right now.
Mhm.
She's in the she's in the past essentially. Like, what is she doing here, bro? Oh
Mhm.
my god. But no, it's really cool that that like I mean, like with her being like having taken the house, I was like, man, I better be able to get my own house, bro. So I knew the first place I needed to go to was Terrytown since I helped build it.
Mhm.
I was like, clearly these guys remember me. They'll make me another house, right?
Mhm.
But no, you build it yourself.
Yeah.
You technically build it yourself. You just get the parts. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. Good enough, I guess. Nah, it's really cool that you have the option. I just wish they had more options for it.
No, yeah, me too.
Like more
Well, actually,
customization
there's a
for it.
decent amount of customization, I'd say, considering that what it is, it's a Zelda game.
Yeah.
I don't know if my standards should be based off of that, but like, still, I feel like they did an okay job at that.
Yeah, it's just something a little basic, a little simple. And who's to say? Who's to say with DLC coming out? It should be cool.
Should be.
Yeah, but it's such a good game. I'm enjoying it so far.
No, me too. Yeah, this is my front runner for the game of the year. So, not like I have a ballot, but.
So with that said, what is your consensus right now on it overall?
It's hard to summarize, you know. And we just talked about it for God knows how long, but like it really sort of illustrates how great this game is to play, how rewarding it is to the player, how rewarding it is to longtime Zelda fans, to people that have played Breath of the Wild. I think they've knocked this out of the park, and I can't wait to play it more and to beat it and to further my experience with it.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see how they try to top this one.
I felt the same way about Breath of the Wild, but I feel like it's even more difficult with this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, especially since it's gonna be a different iteration. So I don't know what they're gonna try and lean on.
Well, they won't. It wouldn't be for the Switch, I'm sure. It would have to be for.
Oh yeah. Whatever.
The Nintendo NX Plus Deluxe Edition.
The NX, right? Maybe they'll go more dual screen with this one this time.
Right. Yeah. Like that worked last time. Like that's gonna work for PlayStation. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I've seen memes on the new PlayStation console where it's like the little green adhesive that you get for attaching things in this game. I've seen somebody put that together with that on it. It's hilarious.
Green Elmer's glue.
It looks a little silly, but I'm optimistic to the fact that they may make it look different. I'm hoping.
Oh, you'd think. I mean.
We'll see.
I mean, people haven't forgotten, clearly.
But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, overall, very. I should probably end this on this note. I hated Zelda in Breath of the Wild. I did not like her.
Damn.
Like.
Okay.
Like I did not like Zelda in that game. Primarily because like. Again, it's primarily like I think as a character, like this is probably the best iteration of Zelda since like I think my favorite iteration is Tetra up until she becomes Zelda, in which case then she becomes like boring as hell. But like this Zelda is like probably the best in terms of like character growth, emotionally, like the way that she's written everything. Definitely, and I'm not even considering like what they did with her in this game yet, but in Breath of the Wild, like she's fantastic as a character. But I hated her, and the reason why is because I'm thinking about it in terms of like in the perspective of Link, who lost his memory, right, and then he goes around to hunt down these memories, and then most of them is her being a complete jerk to him. So I'm like,
yeah, she doesn't really respect him too much, you know. It's like, very strange.
So
they become friends. Like,
oh yeah, no, they're real tight, especially
more than friends.
I mean, it's definitely
they become best friends.
Yeah, so they're so close that she commandeers his house.
That's Link needed to sign that prenup, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Everybody's like, man, this is what happens when you make girls move in.
Yeah, they take over everything. They take your sweatshirts. They take your house. They take your horse. They take your headbands. Will. Yeah. They take your limited edition premium exclusive 1 out of 10 flex fit red visors. It's like
Right.
everything.
But nah, this game, like this really like completely flipped my opinion on her. When you get all the memories, bro, you're gonna see it's insane. All I gotta say. Oh well, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get it until. Yeah, no, you're not gonna be able to get it until you find all of them. But that last memory you get, bro.
Okay. Well, that'll give me something to do. That's good.
Insane, bro. Insane. And like, oh, I really can't wait for you to beat this game, bro.
Me too,
I will say, like, because I hate, like points of no returns in video games.
Me too.
Like when you reach a certain point, they're like, all right, once you pass this, like, there's no going back. I especially hate the points of no returns where once you go past the point and it saves it, like you can't even go back and like explore things. You're just stuck. Like, here is the final boss room. Like this is where your save file is stuck for on forever.
It's not like that for this game, right?
No. It does acknowledge that you beat it.
Okay, so like it's not like the Wild where you're stuck at like the last moment in time. It says like, that you've defeated Ganon.
It's kind of like Breath of the Wild in that sense. But there is a thing that you will get only after you've beaten it on your save file, and of course it will the save file. There is a thing on it that will show that you have beaten it.
Okay.
Like so.
Oh, yeah, like star. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll show that you have beaten it, but it will. It's gonna place you like before you go in. But it does acknowledge that everything that you've done during that fight is still like I still have like my rest in pieces, like on my map showing that I went in there and died a couple times. So like it knows that I went down there and fought him and all that, and you get stuff for beating the game aside from the star, of course. So it will acknowledge. So I'm hoping that kind of plays into whatever they have down the line for this game. But oh, that entire sequence, bro, is so good. I can't even explain, bro. You just have to experience it. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear what you gotta say when you do, bro. And when you get these memories, oh.
I'll give you the deets. I'll give you the opinions. I'll give you the hot takes. Cold takes, and anything in between.
Yeah, bro. I need it. I need it. Nah, but this game is something else, man. This game is something else.
I concur with the consensus.
Yeah. What would you give? What would you rate it so far out of a 10?
I mean, man, I think it's earned a 10 just because of how high quality the gameplay is, how much of an upgrade the story is, how fun it is and rewarding. I don't think you can necessarily warrant anything lower. I don't know. I mean,
definitely no less than a 9 for me.
I do think. I mean, there's no like. I don't like the rating of there's no 10s because there's no such thing as a perfect game. I feel like there are
that's
standards. I feel like there's standards of a game that make it a 10 out of 10. Like it's so good that you can't warrant it not being a highest possible score. It's like
I agree. Like I think like in terms of like Mario games, like Mario 3D World is like perfect. That game's so good to me.
It's a little lower for me, but trust me, I love that game. It's really great.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. But yeah, bro, I think the game's fantastic. I can't wait to see what they do next, bro. It's so far from now, but I know that I'll be able to sink more hours into this game easily. Than I did Breath of the Wild.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I love Breath of the Wild. I only have 140 hours on it, which is still a lot of time.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I think people undervalue how much time 140 hours is, but like, I really wanted to put like much more time into the game and really get much out of it. But I
Mm.
feel like I can do that in Tears of the Kingdom, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm. But yeah, man. Uh, I think that's a good, pretty much spot to wrap up this
Okay.
episode here. Um, we'll come up with some more topic because I also wanted to talk. I also kind of wanted to briefly talk about the Mario movie and
Definitely,
the
yeah.
accolades for that.
Right.
There's other stuff coming out and like
Mhm.
things that we generally have like planned that we can definitely discuss at some point too.
For sure.
But focusing this one on Breath of the Wild, especially with it being like the talk of the town right now.
It's so fresh of the moment right now. It definitely it's so big it warrants its own episode, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. But yeah, bro. Yeah, I think this is a good stopping point here. We're both enjoying the game currently. I've beaten it, but I'm
Mhm.
still like on top of it right now. There's so much
Yeah,
to do, so like I'm still gonna
yeah.
be exploring for a long time, and I really can't wait for you to get to the end.
Oh,
You
me
got
too. Yeah, I'm getting there.
that's gonna be something to discuss. But I think we'll end it right here.
Mhm.
Appreciate you coming through and
Of
hanging
course.
and doing this episode with me. We'll come up with some more topics to discuss on another episode for sure. Hopefully, get some other people in
Absolutely.
on it too. Get some
Oh, yeah.
clubhouse popping off because I'm sure
Oh, I
there's
think that
a.
would be definitely a very fun time. So,
Mhm.
future Cynos Gohegdae live viewers on Twitch.tv and YouTube can enjoy
Yeah.
the future content of the consensus. I think that would be a great video.
Yeah, I think it'd be clean. I can't wait to put this one together and plop that online. And I've already like started uploading like my VODs from the streams for this game. So I'm just gonna
Mhm.
cut all those up and just plop those online too. So that's gonna be fun. And
Yeah.
I have way too many clips of this game on stream too.
Oh,
So
I'm
that's gonna
sure.
be
Yeah.
something to that's gonna be something to experience. But
Mhm.
all right, man, I appreciate you coming through. And
Yeah,
collective,
of
thank you
course.
guys for listening, tuning in.
Mhm.
We will be doing more episodes like this in the future. I know my uploads have been kind of questionable because I've been trying to get back a little bit into streaming. A lot of things popping off on my end. That's a lot of quick changes and Shepard getting out of school. Ugh.
Mhm.
But anyway,
Summertime.
yeah. But I appreciate you guys for coming through and rocking with the video. I will catch you guys on the next one. I appreciate your face and everything it does. Peace.